30-second board will go up. Number 3, Freddie Spencer. Alongside him, number 6, Randy Mamola. Then 27, Eddie Lawson. And alongside Eddie Lawson on the front rank is number 10, Mark Fontaine with the Yamaha. But these are the two men to watch. World Championship leader, number 3, Freddie Spencer, Honda. His rival and friend, I emphasise that, number 4, Kenny Roberts. This race is absolutely vital to the World Championship chances of both of them. And it's go! The crowd literally roars and Spencer blasts off. And Roberts is left a bit behind, and it's Ron Haslam and Freddie Spencer into Cops together with Randy Mamola behind them. And the crowd roars as they see that Ron Haslam is leading the British Grand Prix. Rocket Ron is away on lap 1. The man who has only just recovered from that arm injury. He's in a superb state of mind. There is Randy Mamola and the distinctive style of Ron Haslam. And now Freddie Spencer is right up with him and through. And Mamola is in 3rd position. The World Championship leader, Freddie Spencer, leads as they approach the fastest part of the course, Hanger Straight, which is the long drag, 160 miles an hour. They're into Stowe, and Kenny Roberts is up into 5th place. And it's Spencer leads, Mamola is 2nd, Haslam is in 3rd place, Roberts is up into 4th place, and Jack Middelberg, the Dutchman who won here in 1981, is right up there too. Then the rest of them go through. Number 5 there is ex-world champion Marco Lucinelli on the Honda, who seemingly is well out of the running in the British Grand Prix, didn't do at all well in practicing, and that is the wonderful shot from Club up to Abbey, from Abbey to Woodcote to complete the first of 28 laps, with Freddie Spencer going into the right-hander at 120 miles an hour and leading from Mamola. So there is Honda leading Suzuki. Now, Randy Mamola, number 6, won here in 1980. He's got a lot to do because although he's in 3rd place in the World Championship behind Kenny Roberts as he looks over his shoulder, and Roberts is 3rd, ahead of Haslam. Haslam down to 4th, Roberts up to 3rd. So the 3 Americans who lead the World Championship on lap 2 now are 1st, 2nd and 3rd. It's Honda leading, Freddie Spencer. It's Suzuki 2nd, Randy Mamola. It is Yamaha 3rd, Kenny Roberts. It's the 2nd works Honda of Ron Haslam in 4th position, and that is absolutely nothing to be ashamed of as we watch Kenny Roberts trying to catch Randy Mamola, and he is catching Randy Mamola, and therefore catching this man, number 3, Freddie Spencer, 21 years old, one of the youngest riders in the race. There's Haslam, there's Middelberg, and in 6th position is Lawson, and Barry Sheen is in about 12th position, and that's good. Number 14 there, Loris Reggiani, and the first 3 are breaking away. Haslam is still 4th. Roberts in 3rd position is now right with Spencer, and Mamola leads. Randy Mamola, has he been sandbagging in practice, is in the lead as they come out to complete lap 2 in this 28-lap race, and into 2nd place goes Kenny Roberts. Kenny Roberts has displaced Freddie Spencer, so Suzuki leads, Yamaha 2nd, Honda 3rd. They go over the line together, they being Roberts and Spencer. And Randy Mamola, 22 years old, from Santa Clara, California, is making the most now of his incredible 11 years of top racing experience, because he started when he was a young boy, and he's now leading the British Grand Prix on his 4-cylinder across square 4 Suzuki. Mamola, Roberts, Spencer, the very distinctive yellow and white Suzuki. And this is something that people, I think, would not have predicted. Look at the gap that's developing between the fight between the 3 Americans, and Kenny Roberts is there. Now on lap 3, Kenny Roberts has taken what many people regard as his rightful position, which is 1st. And Haslam is still in that 4th position. Well, Kenny Roberts was in a class of his own in practice, John.
Well, Kenny, I was timing through Woodcote here, and Kenny was picking up a 1/5 of a second on everybody all along. And absolutely sort of riding at the peak of his form. The important thing about it at the moment is that he's enjoying his racing. He really sort of is back into a groove where it's giving him tremendous thrill. And this is very important.
And in motorcycle Grand Prix racing, as in car Grand Prix racing, tyres are one of the main factors which affect whether a machine and rider are going to do well or not. Kenny Roberts is using Dunlop tyres, and Mamola and Spencer in second and third places behind him are using French Michelin tyres. So, since the Dunlops we know have gone a full race distance in practice tests at racing speeds, it bodes well for Kenny Roberts. He's leading, and this is lap 4. It's Roberts leading, it's Mamola second, right behind him is Freddie Spencer. There, it's Lawson in 4th position. Marc Fontaine, number 10, is in 5th place. Lawson, number 27, the American, who is in 5th position in the World Championship, riding with his teammate Kenny Roberts, who is there in the lead. And we have spots of rain, as we had in the 250 race. Let us hope that they hold off. And Spencer is challenging Mamola for second position.
Well, this is just the sort of race that Roberts wanted to have. He wanted to come through from behind at the start and then put together a few very fast laps and perhaps break away.
An amazing testimony to the skill and coolness of these top riders was the way Kenny Roberts languidly turned round and looked to see where the opposition was. He saw behind him Mamola, but now coming up to take 4th position is Marc Fontaine, or is it? No, Marc Fontaine, the Frenchman in the blue leathers on the V4 Yamaha, challenging Eddie Lawson, who is now 4th, and Spencer is right up with Mamola. There is 4th, Lawson, 5th, Fontaine, 6th is Takazumi Katayama, 7th is Ron Haslam. And in 8th position, it looked very much to me like Jack Middleburg, but the leader, Roberts, is not pulling away now from either Spencer or Mamola. Lawson is holding on to that 4th place, and you'll see him come round the right-hander in a moment. There is Lawson 4th. Fontaine is 5th. 6th is number 8, Katayama. 7th is number 9, and that's Haslam. And in 8th position it is Jack Middleburg on the Honda, number 22. And this is lap 5.
Well, Roberts is probably getting a few of those specks of rain onto his visor, and so he's sort of there doing not exactly the 100%. He's doing the 99% job and awaiting any deterioration in the weather.
Kenny Roberts has been racing at the top level for 13 years. Multiple champion in America, and well down the field is Barry Sheen. He is in 12th position at the present moment. And that's out of the World Championship points, because the lowest position you can get a World Championship point in is 10th place. But Barry's got a long way to go now. The leaders come through and complete the 5th lap in this 28th lap. And Nobby Clark, the very famous mechanic, is to me, yes, but as we look at the race now, with no definite knowledge that it's being stopped, there are no flags out where I am. Freddie Spencer on lap 6 has retaken the lead, and the green flags are showing. The race is being continued, which I find surprising, but the ACU know what they're doing, and so the race is continuing with Freddie Spencer now having retaken the lead from his friend Kenny Roberts. Down to 3rd position goes the previous leader, Randy Mamola, and we're getting the same sort of race in the 500cc British Grand Prix as we superbly had in the earlier 250cc British Grand Prix. Spencer looks over his shoulder. He sees Roberts behind him, who's got Mamola behind him, and then it's Lawson in 4th position. It's Marc Fontaine in 5th position. In 6th place it is Takazumi Katayama. In 7th place it is Ron Haslam. And there is the leader.
Well, this shows...
Well, the riders are coming in now off the course. They must be seeing flags off a point where we are now, not in our sight, because riders are streaming into the pits. And there, nevertheless, the yellow flag is being waved, And the British Grand Prix is being stopped.
Well, it looks like perhaps the riders themselves are bringing this about, because I can't actually see the black flag out.
I think you're right, John.
So it would appear
there is the oil flag.
This is a sort of discipline which is being brought onto it by the riders, it would appear. And, you know, this just shows the responsibility of these people.
And this will be the first time that I can recall where the riders have voluntarily decided during the race to stop it of their own volition and to come in order to give, unfortunately, Peter Huber the chance to be removed from the course.
I'm not so sure, Murray, that there wasn't two machines involved in that. They look to be...
Well, this is incredibly confusing and worrying because, look, you can see Spencer, Haslam and Roberts are going on. They're riding on. Now, admittedly, not at flat-out racing speeds, and I simply cannot understand what is happening. The red flag has now been produced at the start. Kenny Roberts has been gesturing at the start officials. The gesture, we assume, meant, why aren't you stopping the race? Where is the red flag? We've seen other people riding in. But it is a worrying and surprising situation that apparently, and I emphasise that I'm talking I'm talking unofficially, the riders have unilaterally decided, or multilaterally rather, decided to stop the race. Well, anyway, the red flag has gone out to show that the race is officially being stopped. There is the sort of communication network which is available to the officials here of the Autocycle Union. There is the red flag, and what an awful tragedy from every point of view that a race which was showing so much promise and such a magnificent battle between the two top riders of the year should have to be stopped in this way. Well, there is, let's make no bones about it, some confusion about what is happening. It is clear, of course, that the race has been stopped. When it is going to be started again and over what distance, we do not know. But Barry Gill is down in the pit lane with Barry Sheen.
Well, one man who isn't confused is Barry Sheen. He's explained, Murray, that out of camera something happened we didn't see. Barry, what exactly happened?
I honestly don't know what happened, but there's an accident around the back as you come out of, I don't know what the name is, one of the right-hand corners. And it's pretty nasty. There's bikes all over the track and that. And there was cross flags there, an oil flag and a yellow flag, which means stop. So what the bloody hell the other lot are doing going round, I really don't know.
I mean, you saw that signal straight away, Barry?
Yeah, I saw it and it stopped. Well, that's what they're for, isn't it?
Barry, what happens now to riders like yourselves who are going to go out all over again, knowing there's been, as you've said, a fairly nasty accident?
Well, I didn't see what happened in the accident. You know, I think we're all aware that accidents can happen, probably me more so than a lot of other people. And it's one of those things that happens.